Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to this edition of NFL Fantasy Live. I am Marcus Grant alongside Michael F. Florio and Adam Rank. It is a Jersey Friday. It is also the start of Week 16, so let's just go around the horn. And who are you wearing, sir?
I broke out the red Stephon Diggs. Not only do I need a big week for him in fantasy this week, but, it's Christmas, and it's Christmas colors. So I figured it was an appropriate time to break out the red one.
And I appreciate the Chicago Bears Christmas-themed sweater there.
It lights up, but our Inspire change pin kind of broke the conduit, and now it doesn't work.
I don't need you to get like an electrical shock or
No.
anything. That would be bad.
Yeah, that would be bad.
No.
Anytime I'm saying something like football-y, our showrunner, there it is.
I'm wearing an Alvin Kamara jersey because we are coming up on 2 years since he delivered a whole lot of fantasy Christmas presents with 6 touchdowns on Christmas Day. Could have been 7, but Taysom Hill decided to get greedy and take one of them in himself from like the 1-yard line. But
Don't do that this week.
please don't do that. A lot of folks counting on Alvin. If you survive this long with Alvin Kamara, hopefully he brings you good things this week. Time to check out some news headlines in case you missed it. Jalen Hurts has been officially ruled out against the Cowboys. Hurts injured his shoulder in last week's win against the Bears. That means Gardner Minshew will get the start versus Dallas. So, Florio, what does this mean fantasy-wise for the rest of the Eagles here?
Yeah, I think Minshew's one of the best streamers this week. He averaged 18 fantasy points per game in his last start. Now he's got a better system and playmakers around him. And as for the playmakers, A.J. Brown is always in play, such a high ceiling. I think you still start Miles Sanders because we could see him get a little bit more volume here. Devonta Smith a little bit more boom or bust. Depends on your option, but he still has a high ceiling. Same thing with Dallas Goedert, but with him being a tight end, it's probably harder to get away from him.
Over to the Browns, where Nick Chubb has been battling a foot injury, but has been removed from the Browns injury report, and he will play in what could be a very cold and nasty weather condition against the New Orleans Saints. Some bad news on the Saints side. Chris Olave is officially ruled out against Cleveland. Olave dealing with a hamstring injury. Saints also to be without Jarvis Landry, who was placed on injured reserve. Tyler Lockett is out this week with a broken bone in his hand. Lockett had surgery to repair the hand on Monday and has a chance to return next week. But, Rank, if you're looking, anybody on that Seattle roster interest you at wide receiver?
He had surgery this week, and he might play next Monday. What is happening? I had a tooth pulled, and it took me like 8 weeks to recover. But in any event, with Tyler Lockett out, I don't know. It's not super easy just to look for somebody on the roster. But Marquise Goodwin has been playing well in spurts for the Seattle Seahawks. Now, last week, obviously, he was not good against the San Francisco 49ers, but that happens to a lot of players. They don't play well against the 49ers. But the previous week, against the Carolina Panthers, he went for 595 and a touch. And, I know he did not practice on Thursday, but Coach Pete Carroll did come out and say that, he's questionable but expected to play this Sunday against the Chiefs.
More news out of Seattle. Kenneth Walker III is listed as questionable at the Chiefs with an ankle injury and back spasms, but head coach Pete Carroll said he should be ready to go. So, Florio, if Walker can go, are you comfortable starting him?
Yep, 100%. I know he's not coming off of a huge game, but that was more because he played the 49ers and no running backs has big games against them. But he looked himself again in that game. He was getting his normal workload. He looked healthy, and he was great before the injury. I don't see any reason he wouldn't be, especially in a matchup against the Chiefs, who struggle not only against the run, but against running backs in the passing game as well.
Hayden Hurst has a calf injury, and today he was officially downgraded to out at the Patriots. Hurst has not played since the Bengals' Week 13 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Look at some other notable injuries for Week 16. Jeff Wilson Jr. has a hip injury. He is questionable. Latavius Murray and Chris Moore, both questionable with foot injuries. Marquise Brown has a groin that has him questionable for the week. Jacoby Myers dealing with a shoulder injury. That is the only reason that they're not going to let him throw a pass this week. I'm just banking on that for the Patriots offense.